Hey everybody. Okay, so some of you will not know who I am. Most of you will not know who I am. Some of you will know who I am because you're part of my downline. But Jackie has asked me to hop on and talk about some things that I have done to radically change my personal sales game these past few months and this month especially. Hey Hannah. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of like a backstory on me as an artist. So I have been here for over 2.5 years now, right at two? I don't know, 2.5 years now, a little over. And I have never been a seller. Like that's something I've always told myself is I'm a leader, I'm not a seller. Personal sales are great, but I'm just not good at it. I'd slowly gotten better and better at personal sales, and for probably the last year and a half, I had hovered right around $1,000 a month in sales, in personal sales, whether that was 800 or 1,300. It was just kind of this place where I sat forever. Every now and then I would push really hard and I would try super hard to get to like the $2,000 bracket, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, the 35%. And it was so hard and it was so elusive for me. And even in holiday months last year, I wasn't even hitting the 35%, the $2,000 mark. And I've just had a big shift recently. Cabo was a huge inspiration, but even more than that was I have some amazing sellers on my team that have been more recent additions to my downline, and they have inspired the crap out of me. So they know who they are. A lot of them are on here. So hello, these girls that just really helped me to believe that I could do it too. So I know that in mascara, we love to tell ourselves that the big sellers are big sellers because they have a big social media following, or the big sellers are the big sellers because they're these outrageously beautiful little like unicorns and they're so comfortable on social media, or we tell them that they have more time. We tell ourselves that they have more time than us. Oh, well, they don't have kids yet, or they only have one child, or they don't work outside of the home, or whatever our excuse is that we decide someone else can be a better seller than us. We love to make up these stories, right? Give me some hearts, some likes, maybe some angry faces if you have been in that place before where you have made excuses for why so-and-so can be a great personal seller, but that's not your story and that's just not gonna be, your reality. So, I was in that place. I loved to do that. I told myself all the time, I pour my time and my heart and my soul and my energy into my team, and I'm just not a great personal seller because I'm just so dedicated as a leader. And that's all fine and dandy, but when it came down to it, I had this surge of women on my team that were busy moms, that worked full-time outside of the home, that were new to mascara, that hadn't been here forever, that didn't have as much time to build as wide a customer base as I did, and they were killing it in the sales and making me look pretty pathetic. And I kind of felt like, if I'm gonna say that I'm a leader and feel like I'm a leader for these girls, I've got to learn from them. And I did just that. So these are 7 things that I have done for myself to change my outlook on my ability to sell, and it's translated to actually being able to have high personal sales. So during this Cabo qualifying period, qualifying, I heard footsteps. What, Brody? What?
We have a treat.
You can have one. They're asking for Halloween treats. My children. See, those are my distractions. Close that door, so rude. Okay, so before the Cabo qualifying period and through it, I was working really hard at my sales and just not hitting that stride yet. I was getting a lot better. I was improving. I was getting my own personal records. But as of like September 1st, I still had over like just under 10,000 points to go till Cabo, which you guys know, that's like almost $10,000 in sales to do in 2 months. And somehow I pulled it off. And at the beginning of this month, I was like 6,500 points away from Cabo. And I was just freaking determined. That's really all there was to it. I was determined and somehow made it happen. So let me tell you guys the juice, the magic juju. and hopefully it will resonate with you and you guys can apply it to your own personal sales. I want you guys to know that these things, if you start applying them, if you don't see them working right away, you got to give them time. So start now, start today, set yourself up for success, and you will grow and grow and grow every day, every month. You'll get a little stronger. So number one, first thing to do to change your own trajectory with personal sales, you've got to get inspired. So you need to find someone, someone that you can look to be inspired by, someone that you feel is relatable. You've got to find someone that is getting the high personal sales, and maybe you find something about them that you think is something like a quality that you could have, or a similar life situation, or just something about them that makes you say, I could do that too. So I will tell you guys, I did not believe that I could ever sell a lot of makeup ever, until I had girls on my team that I could say, oh my gosh, like they are getting huge sales and they are this like me. They, you know, they XYZ, we have all these things in common. If they can do it, I can do it too. So find that person that's kicking the trash out of the sales that you can relate to, or that you can look to and say, if they can do it, I can do it too. I could be like them. I want to be like them. I want to do it the way they do it, and get inspired by them. Number two, mind over matter. The way you talk to yourself and just the mental, like the decisions that you make around your own abilities has so much more power than anything else you could ever work on in this business. And this applies to everything. So let's just sidebar for a minute. You've got to take care of your mind. If you are telling yourself, I'll never be a great seller. And you guys, I've been here, done this over and over again. If you're telling yourself, oh, I could never be a great seller, guess what? You're never going to be a great seller because you've already decided you're not going to be a great seller. So you need to change the dialogue in your head. You've got to tell yourself, I'm becoming a great seller. I am going to be a great seller. I am an improving seller. I'm getting better every month. I'm going to be great. You've got to change the dialogue, mind over matter. You can't tell yourself that you're not going to accomplish something because you're just not going to do it. You need to decide that you're going to do it. If you head into the month and you make these wishy-washy goals, you're going to have wishy-washy results. But if you start this month and you say, you know what, this month I am going to, sorry, let me put this on Do Not Disturb. If you head into your month and say, I'm going to hit this bracket that I have never hit before. Let's say you've never hit the 30% bracket at $800. If you head into this month and you say, you know what, I'm going to hit it, and there's nothing that's going to keep me from hitting that goal, you're going to get it. But if you head into the month saying, oh, it'd be really nice to hit that goal, I haven't done it yet, like it'd be really cool to earn 30%, you're probably not going to get there because you're not going to stick to it enough to make it happen. You have to decide that you're going to do it, and then you have to see it through. Okay, number three, and this is a big one, and this is a big reason why people don't hit their goals and they don't want to set big goals, is sacrifice. People don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to have to do the work that it requires to get the results that we want. And this is going to be kind of harsh, but if you don't really want the results, you're not going to do the work. So you need to be real with yourself and decide, do you really want that 30% commission bracket? Do you really want to make $1,600 this month on your own personal sales because you've sold $4,000 worth of makeup? If you really want it, then you're going to give up the time, you know, watching TV at the end of the night. You're going to give up, you know, that chill time, that time to just binge. You're going to give up whatever it is that you fill your time with that's excess. You're not going to give it up unless you really want it. So if you really want it, you got to learn to sacrifice. This business is a business, and you've got to do the work if you want it to work. So just be ready to sacrifice. And this isn't huge. You don't need to change your life. You don't need to never see your husband and your children again. You don't need to ever watch TV again. Like, you don't need to give up everything for forever and have a miserable existence because you're trying to hit your goals. You just got to be willing to give up those little snippets of time and maybe those little luxuries so that you can get to your goal and see it through, so you can get that confidence boost and get some sales and some experience and some momentum under your belt so that it's easier to hit it again the next month. Number 4, you need to try something that has worked for others, and then try it again and again and again and again and again. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I've never hit those huge sales, I don't know how these girls do it. Well, the only way that you're gonna know how they do it is if you ask. So you've got to find out who the people are on your team that you are, can understand, and maybe you know their personal situation and you know they don't have 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers. They're normal people. They only have 500 friends on Instagram like we do. Ask them how they're doing it. And when they tell you how they're doing it, you got to give it a try. So, and this is something that I had to do. And I learned from my downline how to get these big sales, because these were women that were like me, kind of normal, everyday, still incredible, love these women, but they weren't, the the Kat Fairchilds of the world and the Jocelyn McClellans and the Savannah Polsons. Like, these are women with normal social media presence, and they were killing it. So I went to these girls and I'm like, how the heck are you doing this? I need to know. I really want to be on the beach in Cabo with you. You got to tell me how to get there. And these girls shared it with me, and I will share it with you. And one of the things that was gold that I don't know why I've never really tried, I think I've tried this in like different attempts before, but this perspective on it was just so good. One of my girls, Hannah Willems, she is a newer artist, like new artist. Like, I think she signed up a month into Cabo qualification thing, and she qualified last month. So she was amazing. And she does co-host classes. She's like, I was doing all these classes. I was trying to do 3 classes a week, and she's like, every night I was putting my makeup on, taking it off, putting it on, take it off, like put it on. She's like, it felt so stupid. It felt so wasteful of my time, of my products, of blah, 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 blah. She's like, I decided to just throw people in a group class together and call it a co-host class. And I would get, 3, 4 hostesses at a time in, each week. And I would do 1 class a week. And I was like, stop it. Like, you're doing 1/4 of the work, still getting all of the results. Like, why have I never done this? So I implemented that. I implemented that this month. I had 2 co-host classes, which were awesome. It was so fun. The energy was so great. I had multiple people in there that weren't artists saying how much they loved the product. So much social proof, and it was just great, you guys. And that's a shift that I made, that I learned from someone that was already doing the things that I wanted to achieve. So find out what people are doing in order to get those personal sales, and try it again and again, because guess what? It's not always going to work on the first time. Rarely does it really work well on the first time. You've got to give things a few tries before you really know if it's going to work for you. And try different things. Try them diligently. Give them several tries. I can't say that enough. You cannot, this is kind of the next one. Number 5. Let's just scoot into that one, because now I'm already getting there. Do not give up when you're not selling thousands of dollars immediately, okay? When we try these new things and we implement these things that are working for other people, we can't do 1 co-host class, have it flop, have a couple of our hostesses bail, and be like, it doesn't work. It works for that girl, but it doesn't work for me. We all love to be there. We love to be like, oh, well, she can do it because she's special and people like her, but people don't like me, so it doesn't work for me. You've got to keep going. And you cannot say, I tried it once and then be done with it. It just doesn't work like that. You've got to keep going. You got to build the momentum. You got to get comfortable with it. You've got to find your place, find your rhythm, find how it works for you, tweak it so it fits for you, and then keep building. Okay, so let's see. Number 6. Should I do that as the opposite for you guys? Number 6, you have got to set yourself up for future success. So, and this kind of goes back to number 5 a little bit. Like, you can't get mad when the thousands of dollars in sales doesn't just start pouring in, because you're making these efforts and you're trying the co-host classes and you're trying this and you're doing that and you're going live on your Facebook page and you're doing your Instagram stories and you're sharing the product so much. You cannot get mad when you don't have this immediate success. I think it's Jessica Perez. I think Jess kind of talks about this a lot, where we are doing work now that we're going to get paid on in 90 days, or 90 days from now we're getting paid on our efforts from 3 months prior. And that is so true. So like in the beginning of the cauliflower qualifying period, Cabo qualifying period, I was hustling my buns off, hustling so hard, and I was not really increasing my like normal sales a whole lot. And that's just because I needed time to build the momentum, to build the growth, to have it catch up with me. So you need to work hard now so that next month, the month after that, you're gonna keep compounding this growth. I know Jackie just went live. She talked a lot about the compound effect. Love that book. It's literally the first book I ever read when I was introduced to network marketing in a different company. That was like their bread and butter book. And it's so good. It is so good. And every time we keep working, we keep pushing a little harder, we keep doing the daily task every single day, we're building that momentum, and it's compounding, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But if we start and we don't see the results immediately and we give up, it's never going to get to the place where it's big enough to feel the difference. So set yourself up now for future successes. Start getting your hostesses now so that in 2 weeks you can reap the rewards of a great classes, great online classes, and huge sales. Start reaching out to people now. Start asking them how their makeup is now. Start contacting your most recent customers in a way that isn't begging for them to host for you first, by saying, hey, how's your makeup? Is everything going great? And when they tell you they love it, that's when you can say, I'm so glad you love it. Would you love to host a class for me? Because guess what? You don't want to go to someone straight out of the gate when they just got their makeup and be like, oh my gosh, hey, you got your makeup. Do you want to host a class now and get more for free? And have them be like, oh my gosh, I hate it. It sucks. I want to return it. Then you have to backpedal, right? So let's make sure they're super happy, but use those customers. Use what you've already got in your little arsenal and keep going with that. Okay, so I'm all over the place. I'm all excited. Number 7. This is the biggest one. Number 7. Lucky number 7. Okay. Gratitude. Gratitude goes so far, so freaking far when you are trying to build your business and you're trying to get momentum and you're trying to get those personal sales and build up your customer base and just see things grow. Gratitude is the biggest thing for me. So big, so important. Okay, so several months ago, like probably 6+ months ago, in some chat somewhere, I believe it was Morgan Baldwin. She's a leader on this team. She's so sweet and she's so awesome. She shared with us how she had been listening to a podcast or a book or something about like gratitude. And at first I thought it was a little hokey what she was sharing, but she was saying how they were talking about gratitude and how when we show appreciation for things and like acknowledge every little thing that's positive in our business and really take a moment to be grateful for it, we can then welcome more of it into our hearts. So I'm kind of like listening to this, I'm like, it's a little too like, what's the word? I don't know, like hippy dippy, juju, whatever for me. And then I was like, you know what have I got to lose? I kind of want to practice this a little bit and implement it. So from then on, I have had this thing where it's like every time I get an order, I just kind of stop when I see like the email come in, when it's confirmed, I stop and I just say, thank you so much for this order. Like my heart is so full, I'm so grateful, and I'm ready to receive more. And you guys, it has totally changed like the energy around getting sales for me. And it used to be like, when you would work so hard with someone, you'd coach them through the order, you'd tell them how they need the brushes, why it's so important, why the perfector sponge is so great, what the settings spray will do. And then the order comes through and it's just a hack pack and you're like, ugh. Like, why is it just a hack pack? That should be $100 order. She only got the hack pack. She's gonna hate it. It's not gonna work. La 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 la. Like, you feel totally cheated. So I kind of stopped that and I changed the energy. And instead of being like, oh my gosh, you forgot the freaking sponge. Like, you need the sponge. Like, did she not listen? It was like, thank you so much for this order. I'm so grateful. That's $56 I didn't have before in my personal sales. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm ready to receive more. And And it's just changed totally the energy around my sales and the way I feel about selling to others as well. When I know that I'm going to be appreciative of anything that they are willing to, order from me and to support my business with, it changes how I interact with them. And it's just been so nice. Another thing that I do that I think is so important, gratitude-wise, is I send a handwritten thank you card to every single new customer of mine. Every customer. And you guys, my hand has been cramping the past 2 months from writing these thank you notes, but I feel that it's so important. And I feel that it's so important for customer loyalty, especially when you are starting to have this momentum with these online classes and you're building your network and you have customers coming to you that don't know you from Susie, it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference to them who they're buying from. But when they connect with you through a class, they meet you from a mutual friend, they place an order from you, and then a week later, right about the same time their makeup is coming in the mail, they get a handwritten thank you card from you that says, thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending so-and-so's class. I so appreciate the opportunity to be your artist. I'm so excited for you to get your makeup. You're going to love it. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or any problems at all. That's what I'm here for. When you send them a handwritten thank you card, which no one does these days, they are going to be loyal to you. And I've gotten messages back from a lot of these customers that were just like, thank you so much for the card. And it's just such like a great little thing that you can do. It sacrifices a little bit of time, a little bit of extra money, but I feel like it goes so far for yourself. No, get up. Go away. Brody, wait. 7-year-olds. Okay, so I feel like just that little bit of extra gratitude, a handwritten letter, is something that you can do to really keep your customer loyalty when you start selling to people that you don't know and that don't really feel any real special sort of allegiance to you. They will feel that when you take that extra step. So that's my own personal recommendation for you. Send some thank you cards. Nobody does it anymore and people love it. Okay, so along the gratitude line, my favorite quote literally of all time, and I apply this to all areas of my life, is the things that you appreciate. Like appreciate as in mathematically, appreciation, grow, interest, all of that. So the things that you appreciate. So just gratitude. You can't get anywhere without it. And if you try to get somewhere without it, you'll get there and it won't feel very good. So that's all I have for you. I hope you guys have an awesome night and set some good goals for yourself this month. You guys are all so capable of selling and having high personal sales. Stop telling yourself the lies that you're not a seller, that you're not a social media influencer, that you're not XYZ, whatever you think yourself to not be good enough to have high personal sales. Throw those lies out the door. Decide today that you are going to kick the pants out of the sales this month and make it happen, because you can all do it. Okay, I'm done rambling now. See you later.